First, I guess it was over the weekend where Will Wade, my opinion, maybe got out a little bit over his skis when discussing Ven-Allen Lubin. Thought it was a rubber chicken circuit, but apparently the players were there. Here's Will Wade from over the weekend.
You know, the other school was too dumb to play him. When he plays 28 plus minutes, he's done that 23 games. He averages 15 and 8. I don't know why the hell they didn't play him, but we're going to play him, so he's going to average 15 and 8.
There you go. That's Will Wade saying the other school, the other in Carolina, too dumb to play him. And when he plays 28 minutes, he averages 15 and 8. Therefore, that's what's going to happen when he plays 28 minutes a night for NC State. Brian Geisinger, Pack Pride, 24/7 Sports, split the action on Substack. He is everywhere. Was Will Wade just having a good time, or does Will Wade have a point?
I think he was just having a good time. I mean, it's a Saturday afternoon, and beautiful sunny day in Raleigh, North Carolina, and hanging with the players, hanging with the boosters. I mean, it's a I think sort of a silly way to both continue to vibe and connect with the fan base, and maybe put a little confidence into the sales of Ven-Allen Lubin. So look, he's going to play a lot for State next season, but assuming guys like Zamika Wilkins and especially Paul Mabaya are, ready to play next season as well too, it's going to be a platoon. So, maybe there are going to be some games he plays 28 minutes or more, but my guess is he's going to end up playing sort of more in the 20-25 range, like that, maybe a little bit lower. So I think he's a nice player. He's going to help them in a bunch of different ways on both sides of the floor next season. But even as someone that's liked Lubin since his freshman season at Notre Dame, I'm not sure there's like a superstar hiding in plain sight here. So, but yeah, this is certainly, bulletin board material if you're a UNC fan, or it's just or it's more of the same, sort of like I'm trying to blank on how the word described this, but just more good vibes, I guess, between the new coaching staff and an excited fan base here.
And that's the way I looked at it. I didn't take it seriously, but of course, people mad online.
It would be gold. It would be wild if Will Wade we're discussing his rotation patterns for next season during a June afternoon at a restaurant in Raleigh. So yeah.
You're 100% correct about that. Brian Geisinger is joining us here at @bgeis_bird on Twitter and on Blue Sky at Brian Geisinger. Here's the thing that I go back to last year, because I watched him all last year. And I thought Ven-Allen Lubin was a nice player. I think on a good team, he's a rotation player. He's not a starter. He's not a 28-minute-a-night guy on a team that wants to finish in the top, 2-3 of the ACC, which I think NC State's roster, to me, says that they can finish in the top. Certainly with a double bye, I think they're good enough to finish in the top 4. But if Ven-Allen Lubin is playing 28 minutes a night, I'm not sure that they are good enough.
One other thing I would say, Lubin provides, I think pretty confidently, he provides this discrete set of skills that are nice for a modern 5, right? Good screen setter, does a nice job catching the ball, and he can catch it in traffic. He can finish above the rim with lobs, which is sort of a notable thing for State to have a couple of lob threats on the roster, and just in terms of what that does in terms of your spacing, or how teams have to sort of respect that in the pick and roll game next season. And he gives you some rim protection, and I think he also played great down the stretch of the season for UNC. I think all of that stuff is bankable. If there is a case for him to maybe have another gear offensively, it's that his sophomore year at Vanderbilt 2 seasons ago, he showed a little bit of stretch, right? I think he made 13 threes that season. So nothing crazy. But if this guy had the ability to actually give them, he was 13 of 39 from deep in the 23-24 season. If he actually could up the volume on that, instead of taking 1 a game, he was sort of taking 2 to 2.5, 3 threes a game and hitting them in the a mid-30s clip, then all of a sudden he actually becomes a really impactful player. Like if he starts bringing some stretch to the 5 spot too, but I mean, I don't know how realistic that is to anticipate. So yeah, that's sort of why I have him more in like decent starter, a very quality positive backup, and certainly a rotation player at the power 4 level. And
to me that's fine. Now, what is the competition? Brian Geisinger with us. What is the competition with for Lubin for these minutes? You mentioned a couple of players. I didn't hear Darian Williams in that mix. He should be a lot of competition at the 4 spot too. No,
for sure. And I mean, I guess my thing is I'm not sure how much Lubin is gonna play the 4. I mean, my guess is he'll play next to Mbaya and Wilkins some next season, maybe here and there. But like, if he's not shooting it from deep, then I really do think I'm putting Lubin more at the 5 and saying
right.
He's maybe not just completely a one position player, but that he's a little limited, in terms of his sort of like positional versatility. I think he's got like enough sort of like lateral athleticism to defend 4s in the ACC and stuff like that. It's just offensively, how are you doing that if you're now having multiple non-shooters on the floor, right? If you've got a guy at the 5 who can't shoot from deep, then you're playing Lubin at the 4 who's a shaky at best or a non-shooter. Then if you're playing that with Quadir Copeland at the 1, then you've got another. Just all of a sudden it becomes you have too many sort of like non-stretch options on the floor. Gary Williams is going to be awesome. Like there's no doubt about it. I think he's going to play the 4 for them next season. I think he's going to be one of the best players in the country in the ACC. Has the chance to be, first team all ACC. And again, I think sort of like one of the best initiators in the league. And you're going to see Williams and Lubin play together a lot next season. You're going to see a lot of 4-5 pick and roll, no doubt about it. But my guess is you're going to get a platoon at the center spot that's mostly going to be Lubin and Mbaya, and then some of maybe Zamika Wilkins. But Mbaya is another guy. I've seen a little bit of him from his international experiences, but just like a really great, run, jump athlete who provides great length and size and has played professionally in Europe for some time now too. Sort of more on like the developmental squads, but he's played some at the senior level club as well too. So a guy that's certainly like an upside bet, I would say, for state next season. So my assumption would be Lubin starts the year at the 5, but come mid-season, who knows who's playing, the majority of the center minutes. But certainly VAL is going to be a guy that's going to factor into the mix, start to finish, provided he's healthy next year.
All right, final thing for Brian Geisinger, BuzzBeat Podcast, 24/7 Sports, Pack Pride, split the action on Substack. You should get that. All right. Will Wade came in saying he wants to, he was basically guaranteeing we'll be top 4 in the ACC. We're going to the NCAA tournament. Not that the ins and outs of every roster in the league, but is NC State's roster not top 4 in the league right now?
It's, I think so. And if it isn't, it's not far, outside of it. I think Duke obviously has incredible high-end talent, both coming in and returning to the roster this season. I think UNC, I feel like people were kind of like down on them a little bit. I know they spent obviously a great deal on the roster for next year, but to bring in Kyan Evans, Henry Vazar, Jaron Stevenson, like some really nice players on that, not including like Jonathan Powell, who actually I've been watching some of his tape recently from West Virginia, and Jaden Young at Virginia Tech. Then you've got Caleb Wilson, top 5 prospect in the class coming in, and Seth Trimble. I think UNC is going to be really, really good. Louisville, obviously an incredible run in the portal. I think Virginia did a nice job in the portal as well. I think Notre Dame has a really fun, talented roster with Marcus Burton and Braden Shrewsbury back, plus Jalen Harrelson, the top 20 prospect in the ESPN class coming in. So, but I would say I think I would have State probably in the range of Louisville, UNC, so pretty safely in the top 4.
I think my worry about Carolina is that I don't think they have a ton of depth. I think last year they had a lot of guards. I think this year they're probably good from the 3 on up, and I'm not sure how good they are in the backcourt. But we'll have to see how it all plays out. At bgeist_bird on Twitter, at Brian Geisinger on Blue Sky. The Substack is Split the Action. Too many things to promote. Brian Geisinger, I appreciate your time, my man.
Yeah, as always. You guys be good.
You got it. Brian Geisinger here on the Adam Gold Show.